direct from his recent engagement at the Holyoke Opera House, and about to embark on his inaugural tour on the national stage for one night only, Holyoke's own Mr. Tom Browne, the king of the whistlers.
My entire season of 1891 through 1892 is booked with Primrose and West, the 8 Bells Company. Do not forget me, as I shall be with you next year. Yours, whistlingly, Tom Browne. Those were the words of my great-granduncle, Tom Browne, taken from an advertisement in 1891. Tom was telling his friends and fans in the Holyoke area that he was leaving them for the professional stage. He was also telling them that he would return to them and to the town that he loved so well. Tom Browne was a talented musician and stage performer, but what he was most famous for was his unique ability for whistling. Tom's unique skill was the ability to whistle 2 and 3 notes at the same time, which is known as double note whistling. He started double note whistling in 1881. Tom also plays the piano, cornet, piccolo, harp, and violin. Double note whistling is also known as double tonguing. There are 2 ways of double note whistling. One is to oscillate very quickly between 2 notes, and this tricks the ear into hearing 2 notes at once. The second method is to use the tongue to split the column of air coming out to create 2 or 3 notes simultaneously. Tom employed both methods. His double note whistling could produce both alto and treble, or tenor and treble sounds simultaneously. Tom was an artistic whistler and not a bird imitator, like many whistlers of his time. He performed orchestral pieces by whistling. He could imitate musical instruments like the piccolo and cornet. The recording I'm about to play is not Tom Browne, but rather a modern-day example of double note whistling. The whistler begins to perform in single note whistling and then goes into double note whistling. Remember, this is only one person whistling throughout the recording. That's just single note whistling. Now we're double note. I like that one. Tom probably inherited his musical talents from his father, Simon. Here Simon is shown playing the Irish harp. His violin is on the table next to him. Simon was reported to be the first citizen in Holyoke to own a piano. The Holyoke City Directory of 1869 shows Simon as an employee of the Riverside Paper Company. Simon was a paper maker by trade in Ireland. His family's paper mill was a victim of Ireland's economic downturn, and Simon immigrated to this area because of the then thriving local paper industry. By 1870, he was financially stable enough to have this portrait painted. Tom was the youngest of 8 children born to Simon and Mary Browne. Tom was the only child of Simon and Mary born in America. This is a picture of 7 of the Browne siblings. This is Michael, my great-grandfather. That's Joseph, Tom, Hugh, Valentine, Mary, and Simon John. Missing from this picture is Tom's eldest sister, Johanna. This picture is not dated and may have been taken after Johanna's death in 1890. All of the Browne children were musically inclined and often performed together throughout this area. Joseph, there, was a cornet player, and he performed professionally around the country. When Tom was born in 1865, the family was living in Adams, Massachusetts. Shortly after Tom was born, Simon moved the family to Holyoke in order to be closer to the industry that was making Holyoke the paper city of the world. This is a picture of 198 Walnut Street, where Tom and his family lived for many years. The city directory shows Tom living here from 1885 to 1892. The building is still in use as residence today. And Walnut Street, as most of you know, is just a couple blocks away from here. This is a close-up of the last slide, and it shows Tom with his sister Mary, who is known as Mamie, and his brother Joe. This is another photo of Tom with 2 of his siblings inside the Walnut Street house. Here's Tom, my great-grandfather, Michael, and Mary. Although the other 2 women are not positively identified, I believe that this woman is Michael's first wife, Sarah, who died in 1887. Michael's second wife was my great-grandmother. Notice the portrait I showed you before of Simon. It's resting on the floor behind Sarah.